All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, today we're going to dive deep into Battlefield 6 open beta. And now that it's gone, we all been waiting for this video. So let's break down the good, the bad, and everything in between. So Battlefield hype train has been chugging along and the open beta is our first real hands-on experience. But now that it's gone and I put in a good chunk of hours, I'm ready to share my initial thoughts. But remember, this is a beta, so things are subject to change. But let's get into it. Now, Battlefield has always been about epic scale, and this beta definitely delivers. The maps feel huge, plenty of room for vehicles and infantry to maneuver. The level of detail is extremely impressive. From the environmental destruction to the sound design, when a tank rolls by, you feel it. The ground shakes. But the game also has a really good gameplay variety. I mean, we got a good mix of vehicles, from tanks, helicopters, to TVs. Pretty much that's what it feels like. The infantry combat feels solid as well, with a decent selection of weapons and different gadgets you can play around with. There is definitely a play style for everyone. Me myself, I like to play kind of slow and methodical, tactical. I'm not really the rush and run and gun type of player, but I had a blast in my play style. Now, next gen visuals as well, mostly on PC and newer console. The game looks stunning. The lighting, particle effects, the overall fidelity are a noticeable step up. But there is moments where you can see performance issues, but also there's moments where you see it truly shines through. Now, Battlefield 6's open beta was a huge return to form, and here's why. So the Battlefield beta is over, and for a lot of us, after years of, let's just say, a mixed experience, we're holding our breath. But after a weekend of playing, I can confidently say Battlefield is back. The beta wasn't perfect, but it gave us a glimpse of the classic Battlefield we've been craving. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what they got right. Number one is the vibe. A return to classic Battlefield. The first thing I noticed is the vibe. This beta felt like a love letter to Battlefield 3 and 4. It's grounded, it's gritty. The neon skins and wacky operators are gone, replaced with a focus on soldiers, squads, and pure combined arms warfare. For the first time in a while, it feels like your role matters. Medics can drag down teammates to safety. Engineers are essential for keeping vehicles alive, and the class system isn't just for show. The game actively encourages you to work with your squad and plan things together for you and your team to wipe an objective. It's that pure, unadulterated Battlefield chaos we all remember, and truly, it's a breath of fresh air. It really is. So another thing I want to talk about is the gunplay, and that is a major improvement. With the gunplay, there's a major point of criticism in the past, but in Battlefield 6, it feels tight. The recoil is readable. The weapon feedback is excellent. The damage feels consistent. At times, I know there is some netcode issues, but it did feel consistent. And it's that classic Battlefield feel where every shot feels impactful, but there's enough skill ceiling that mastering a weapon is genuinely rewarding. Now, I did run into some times when I played with the shotgun, and sometimes my bullets would just fly right through their head, but sometimes it would just drop them at 17 meters away. So the shotguns need a little bit of work, but I guess I digress. But it's not just about the feel of the guns. The small touches are what sell it. You see LMG barrels glowing after a long burst. The sound design is absolutely immaculate. The crack of a sniper rifle and the roar of a jet flying overhead, it all combines to create an incredibly immersive and satisfying combat loop. The one thing that I am very, very happy about when it comes to the gunplay and the recoil is they removed all the visual clutter. So when your gun is firing, yes, you have a little bit of jump, but they removed the visual clutter where you don't have flames and sparks coming out the front of your gun where you can't see what you're shooting at. So that's a big one. But another thing I want to dive into is the performance and tech. It's a polished beta. Let's just be honest. You know what a beta often means, right? Bugs, crashes, and performance issues. But for Battlefield 6, the technical side of the beta was surprisingly strong. The game ran exceptionally well with a stable frame rates, even on a wide range of hardware. DICE has clearly put in a lot of work on the optimization, and it shows. My PC ran with no problem. I have a pretty tanky beastie PC, but it ran it with not a problem on epic settings from streaming and recording at the same time while gaming. No problems. While there was some hiccups like matchmaking issues for a few players and some reported problems with DLSS for NVIDIA users, the overall experience was incredibly polished for beta. This level of technical stability gives me a ton of confidence that the final launch will be one of the smoothest in the series history. We don't want to talk about 2042, that was bad. The developers were also quick to address issues, which is a really good sign. If you don't follow them on Twitter, that's where you get a lot of the information, and they were very quick to respond and help out with problems. So now, it all wasn't sunshine and rainbows, though. It is a beta after all, and the biggest point of contention was probably the maps. While the maps were visually stunning, some of the designs felt a bit too small and funnel-like. For a classic Battlefield experience, they leaned into more of that fast-paced, relentless chaos, and a lot of players are hoping for the final game will have a better mix of larger maps or more open maps. And the developers have promised bigger maps do exist, so that's a good sign. I mean, the beta was exactly what we needed. It was exactly what the developers needed to test close quarters, a lot of chaos combat. They can test bugs that come up. They can test glitches, people out of mount bugs that were happening. There was people climbing on bridges. It was so many different things that they got to hone in on that they really could not hone in on a extremely large map. There will be less combat. There will be less instances of gunfights, which does not help with beta testing and providing feedback. Also, vehicles felt tanky. A tank can literally take like 7 RPG rockets, and that is not fun at all. But these are things that can be tweaked. And balanced before the full release. The fact that the core gameplay is strong means that there's issues that feel minor, adjustments that may be needed, not fundamental flaws. So in conclusion, my final verdict is Battlefield 6 Open Beta was a massive success. It brought back the core identity of the franchise and delivered a truly polished and satisfying gameplay loop. I played the game for so many hours, you guys, so many hours. The feel of the game, the sound design, and the gunplay, and the focus on teamwork all point to a massive return to form. The beta did exactly what it was supposed to do. It showed us that Battlefield is not only back on track, but it's poised to be a contender for Shooter of the Year. Let me know your thoughts of the beta in the comments below. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Hit the like button and the subscribe button for more Battlefield content. But until next time, folks, I will see you in the next one.